Hey, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, I know the Criterion sale is getting ready to end soon in the next couple of days. You're going to have the weekend to think about what should I buy. If you haven't dipped your toe much into Criterion and you say, oh, it's for artsy fartsy films, I'm going to show you some films that aren't exactly mainstream movies, some of them, but they're great choices to get into Criterion so you can see the great features and just the high quality transfers that they do on some of their movies. So let me give some quick recommendations of 10 movies that you could start a Criterion collection with. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
Let me talk to you.
So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the JeffMan316 Pop Culture Reporter channel. I'm your host, as always, JeffMan316. Yeah, that's me. We do some live streams on the weekend. I watch all kinds of movies. A lot of horror on this channel usually is what the people that watch with me. I'd like to grow that. So come over. We talk about movies just as much as we watch. Sometimes we don't even watch the movie much. But yeah, support me any way you can and don't just watch the movie hunt videos. But as I said in the intro, this is going to be, hey, if you're not really into Criterions, but you want to dip your toe in, or you really like to dive in and get some really good choices from the beginning that aren't like, you know, those critically acclaimed movies where, you know, it could be foreign films or something obscure. These are movies that I enjoy, and I kind of consider them right on the borderline of being mainstream hits that are surprisingly, some of them are in the Criterion Collection, but also they're great movies, so I'm not so surprised. So either way, quick, I'm just going to run through these. Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is a Wes Anderson movie. It's more, you know, he's made some really quirky movies. This is more of a mainstream, if you would, type style. I love it. It's got some great voice work by actors like George Clooney, Meryl Streep, Jason Schwartzman, Willem Dafoe, and Bill Murray. So a lot of the staple people that are in his movies, dude, you couldn't ask for a better animated movie. It's really engaging. It's really funny, quirky, witty. The writing is great and the animation is great, and so you could watch it with as the family. The kids could enjoy, you know, the animated characters and the story, but it also has enough humor, fun to it, and like I said, really witty satire type stuff that the adults can enjoy. So Fantastic Mr. Fox. This is going to be the polar extreme of that. This is not one for the kiddies, but a movie that I discovered later in life. It's Sam Peckinpah's movie, Dustin Hoffman's Straw Dogs. Now, they made a remake of that. So before you see the remake, I recommend you watch the original. It might be a kind of a hard watch because of a one key scene. I'm not going to go too far into it. Dustin Hoffman and his wife is played by Susan George. It says they go to the village where they grew up. Their sense of safety unravels as the local men David hired to repair their house prove more interested in leering at Amy and intimidating David than actually fixing the house. So yeah, he gets bullied, and it's basically him trying to step up, but something happens with his wife in there, and it may be a little hard to watch, but man, some of the great acting by Dustin Hoffman in this right here solidified him with me as far as, you know, some of his great acting. I wasn't a huge fan of Dustin Hoffman until I started watching movies like Straw Dogs and another Criterion, The Graduate. A movie that just came out recently that is kind of more of a mainstream hit, The Others with Nicole Kidman. I really love this movie, the atmosphere. It looks tremendous. This is the 4K. It's obviously one of those movies that's got a surprise ending to it. I still think that, to me, I don't want no any hate from this, but you know, you got The Sixth Sense, and once you know the hook of that, I haven't enjoyed that movie as much after repeated viewings. I do enjoy this movie. So I would recommend, if you like The Sixth Sense and you hadn't seen it, The Others. And I'm not going to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil it. If you didn't think that John Travolta was a good actor, you need to start watching some of his other movies. A Brian De Palma film, John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and Blowout. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, not just John Travolta movies. It also has got John Lithgow and Dennis Franz. You remember Dennis Franz was from NYPD Blue, but man, does John Lithgow play a weird character like he normally does. in this, but John Travolta's acting in this is pretty amazing. And Nancy Allen, this is back when she was young, man, she is stunning in this. I think she's beautiful. Plays a call girl that John Travolta's helping. This was it's like an old school movie as far as the technology they're using. He's a film editor, and he's going back and watching film, as you can see, and editing it. So that's old school stuff right there. This was back in the day when I was editing stuff on the videotapes myself from other sources, movies like Blowout. But yeah, early days of some of Travolta's greater work. So really check out that movie. I love it. I'm not a huge fan of David Cronenberg. I think some of his stuff is just too weird for even me. But one of his movies that I think is excellent is Videodrome. I think I like it because of the content. It's basically like the use of television and media to either desensitize people to violence, or that basically they can manipulate how people feel. This movie's got some weird ass special effects. It couldn't star an any better actor than James Woods. It's got Debbie Harry from the group Blondie in it. She does a great job acting in it as well. I just really love this movie. David Cronenberg, if you don't like some of his stuff, this is a more mainstream type movie. I think you would love it. So speaking of David Cronenberg, somebody that does weird shit in their movies, David Lynch. Try Twin Peaks Firewalk with me. If you're not familiar with the show, this is actually a good place to start because it's a prequel to the series. I love everybody that plays in this movie, specifically Ray Wise as Laura Palmer's father. I think he does a great job. Cheryl Lee obviously plays, Laura Palmer there. There's the locket on there. The series starts with her being dead. This is the prequel, so she's in it a lot. It does have some weird imagery in it. Like you've got a, like a midget eating corn.
You can't say midget? God damn it.
What, I can't say that anymore? Well, I apologize if I offended anybody for saying that.
Can't say it. People get very upset.
Okay, I've been told I have to call it little people. Really? Is that where we're at? Am I big enough of a channel to get canceled for saying something like that? I apologize for anybody I offended. I didn't think that was a bad word until I saw that comedy skit that I was riffing on right there. But either way, I do apologize. I know I'm making a joke about it or whatever. I don't want to offend anybody, but I do think we're a little too SAWFT soft when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, Firewalk with me. Get your feet wet with this. If you don't like this, you're not going to like the TV series. I love it. They do a great job. A movie that I think is very underrated that a lot of people don't even know that they don't remember it when they talk about the great films of David Fincher. It's The Game, starring Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. I'm not going to give away too much for this one. I think it's really good, but I'll just read a little bit. It says, the enormously wealthy and emotionally remote investment banker, played by Michael Douglas, receives a strange gift from his near-to-do younger brother Sean Penn on his 48th birthday. It's a voucher for a game that, if he agrees to play, will change his life. I'm not going to give away any more than that. If you like the work of David Fincher and you haven't watched The Game, very underrated. Don't hear enough people talking about this. Maybe I need to review it on the channel. Got a couple more here, 3. One that I'm going to go ahead and tell you is a mainstream movie that everybody knows, but the upgrade is tremendous. Night of the Living Dead in 4K, looks tremendous in black and white. The only thing I will say is there's at least a couple scenes that the audio is so much improved and enhanced that the damn crickets got on my nerves. I had to turn the volume down a little bit. But the movie looks so good that I hate to tell you not to get it because of that. I love it. Obviously, everybody knows George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. This is a classic. You need to own it in 4K. The same thing with this movie. I couldn't believe I hadn't seen this movie in years. I watched it with my dad and didn't really think much of it. Then I addressed it, whatever you want to call it, rediscovered it. When I bought the Criterion 4K of the Martin Scorsese film, Robert De Niro starring in Raging Bull, another movie that looks so spectacular in black and white. I love everything about this. Obviously, this is considered one of Martin Scorsese's greatest films. I'm not going to, Robert De Niro is the boxer. I'm not going to go too far into it. Everybody knows Raging Bull. You need to have that in your collection from the Criterion Collection in 4K. So last but not least is another quirky one I want to recommend. It's a movie that I had watched earlier in the 80s and I didn't 100% like it. And now that I've gotten older and I, respect other type of filmmaking, quirkiness of movies, oddball humor, which I, myself, I have that. It's a film by Alex Cox called Repo Man. It stars Harry Dean Stanton and Emilio Estevez, and they play this very oddball couple of repo men. They repossess cars. They come into possession one that the government's looking for. It may have something to do with aliens. I'm not going to spoil any more than that. But the cool part about it is then they run into all these quirky type of characters and shit as they go. And they do play the most oddball couple, like partners you could ever have in film. The humor in this is kind of cool and quirky. I like it. It's a punk, style movie, but I just think it's very underrated. I never hear anybody talk about Repo Man. I really do like it. And if I said Repo Men, I apologize. There is another movie called Repo Men. I'm not talking about that. This is the movie from 1984 starring Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton. You need to watch this. I really, like I said, I've enjoyed discovering some of these movies like this on Criterion. You don't hear much about these movies like that. So either way, that's my quick, I think that was 10 picks of movies that you could go out and get to dip your foot into the Criterion Collection, and you can come back with some stuff I think you'll enjoy. Did you enjoy this video? If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the normal YouTube stuff. I love you guys. Keep supporting me, and I'll keep making great content. If you are a subscriber, hit the notification bell. You'll know when I post new videos. And I'm tired, so I'm not going to talk anymore. Watch Repo Man or any of these other ones. I love you guys, and until next time, this has been JeffMan316. I'm your pop culture reporter, and I'm signing out saying you guys be safe out there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much.